This thing is going to change the way you play MX bikes forever and for the better. Let me introduce you to the foot simulator, or as I like to call it, the dog simulator by the company wickd. And this thing is basically a 3D printed lower part of a motorcycle. It's got pegs for your feet to rest on. It's got a rear brake and a shift lever here. And it's all centered around a controller that the company ships with the product, which I think is really, really cool. Basically, it's just as simple as it sounds. You put your feet on the pegs, and when you want to hit the rear brake, you just push down on the rear brake. When you want to shift up, you click up on the shift lever. And when you want to shift down, you click down on it. It is that simple. All of the gameplay in this video was recording using this device. And yeah, all my shifts, all my perfect braking was all used using the Dogs Brothers. This is also not a sponsored video. He did send it out to me, but I'll get more into the details of that later. But first, let's get into some of my first impressions. Honestly, the thing that concerned me most about this product was how easy or how difficult was it going to be to set up. And I'm happy to report that it was super, super easy. Steam or MX Bikes has the ability for you to just plug in a second controller and bind things separately without losing the ability to use your first controller. What that means is basically you just plug the controller into your PC, you go to your bikes, you pick either your rear brake or your combined brakes, and you press down on the pedal and it's bound. You go over to your shift up, you click up and it's bound. You go down to shift down, you click down and it's bound. It was literally that simple. Took about 10 seconds to do. After that, it was quite literally just put it on the ground and get to playing. And my first impressions were, it was really, really fun. The immersion is something that I've never had in MX bikes. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be like 2017 Doc who's absolutely ripping the back of C-Class, but it is a new level of immersion that I haven't had in bikes. There's something about going over a Supercross triple and needing to drop that front end and actually having to use your dogs to brake tap that's just different, you know? It's great. Shifting on an outdoor track is really, really intuitive and it's just really fun. There's something about going over a jump, throwing a whip, clicking up to third and just getting on it that just feels different and a little bit more fun than just doing it on a controller. MX Bikes is already a really rewarding game to play, and then now adding a new element just kind of ups that level of fun. The boys over at wickd did let me know that the players that were able to use this device and get used to it were actually able to lower their lap times quite a bit. I haven't been able to lower my lap times yet, but I also have 7,000 hours, over 7,000 hours on a controller, and it's gonna take me a while to learn something new because I have so much muscle memory on a controller. Let's talk about a few of my favorite things. One is the immersion. I already kind of touched on it, but it's just great. It makes it feel like a little bit of a different game almost. It's really cool, and I really suggest checking it out. Two, definitely has to be the added level of difficulty, especially for Supercross. Now, some people may be hearing MX Bikes and added level of difficulty and be like, what? That's not a good thing. That's got to be a bad thing. Well, I can understand that, but at the same time, it adds that level of like immersion and difference to a game that I haven't had. Right now, the meta in MX Bikes is to go into a whoop section and click up to fourth or fifth as fast as you can. Well, right now on a controller, all you do is you just spam your shift button and you're up in the fifth gear. But now on the foot simulator, it's actually quite difficult because you have to either shift a few times in the air if there's a jump before the whoops, or if there's a corner before the whoops, you have to be really fast to shift twice or three times up going into the whoops, and then you have to do it going out of the whoops, but you have to shift down, and it's really hard. It made me respect the real life guys way more. Like, I know they're insanely talented, and this is nothing compared to riding a real bike, but even more so, it just makes you realize, man, how much stuff those real life guys have going on when they're riding. Supercross itself was just really, really fun for me because there was a lot going on, and as you can see in the footage, I'm not perfect. I'm crashing and maybe I'm messing the whoops up and stuff, but that whole new kind of learning curve for me was really, really fun. And when you nailed something, it was really rewarding. I don't know, it just made Supercross feel more alive. The whoops had a whole new level of difficulty. The corners were good. The transitions of the jumps even felt good, but not as good as this transition to our sponsor, the boys over at FXR. That's right, boys. We partner with FXR to give away a free set of real life FXR gear. Every single person that uses the code FXR Game Time on the FXR website will be automatically entered. That means you could go buy a hat, a t-shirt, or a full set of gear, and maybe you'll win a full second set of gear. This offer is available through the 25th of April, so make sure you jump in there and get it taken care of quickly, boys. Now, normally this is where I would talk about the things that I don't like about the product, but I'm gonna be honest, there's not really much. The only thing that happened while I was using this was the shift lever did break, and that's probably my fault. Maybe I got a little too excited and I put a little bit too much oomph on that shift lever, and I broke the bolt off that holds the shift lever in place. So when I would push the shift lever down, it would hold it down, and when I would click a gear up, it would just stay up. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to come back to its neutral spot. Now, I did talk to the boys over at WEBCAM, and they were fully aware of this and were already working on a fix for down the road at the full release. Like I said, this is a prototype that we're working on, and so there's going to be some bugs and issues, and that's part of the reason he sent it to me, was to help test and get things figured out. Now, he is selling this prototype, and you can go buy them down in the description for $119. And at first I thought that was a little pricey until I realized it's shipped with the controller. That's probably a $40 or $50 controller that it ships with, so that really helps me justify the price, and just it's a package that it's basically plug and play, and I think that's really nice. Whether you're just looking for that extra immersion, or maybe you think that you need to get some extra advantage over the competition, the foot simulator could be exactly what you need to get to that next level. Like I said, this is not a sponsored video, but I did ask him to put a code for you guys to knock some cash off. Now, you can use the code that's on the bottom of the screen, I think for about 10 bucks off. Now, I don't get any kickback on that. I wanted just to give something back to the community. That way it incentivizes you guys to go pick this up and support him, because this is just a small company. I mean, it's probably just him working on this, and he's doing his best to make something cool, and I really like cool stuff. Now, I told you I was going to talk about how I met the owner, and basically a couple years ago on Facebook, before I was even a creator, I met him in the comment section of a post, and somehow we became friends. Well, fast forward years later, I'm an MX Bikes content creator, and I found him in the MX Bikes Facebook community page, and I felt like I recognized his profile picture and his name, and I was like, oh dude, are you this guy? And we reconnected. Then turns out he was making this product, and you know, actually a couple years later I hit him up and he decided to send it out to me. It's pretty cool, and it's also really cool because he does some customization. As you can see, he kind of REAPERDOC'd this thing out for me, and he had me pick the colors I wanted, and it's just a cool product that I think you guys should check out. Like I said, if you want to pick one up, you can go down in the description and grab one, or you can wait till the full release comes in the future, which I'm really excited for, to see what he improves on between now and then. As always, I love you boys, and I'll see you in the next one. Woo!